Hello and welcome or welcome back to Neuropa City Zoo. I hope you all had a fantastic week. Right off the bat in today's episode, as promised, we are starting with the new seal habitat. So this one actually ends up being a pretty short time lapse, the seal habitat part, just because we already did a bunch of those really cool buildings last time. So I didn't have to add anything too spectacular to this one, just kind of keeping with the theme here. With our barriers, and I just straight up brought over some of those waterfall pieces from Flamingo Falls just to kind of tie that in. I thought that was kind of cute, the way that it fell into the water here. And then on the other side here, it's just, I tried to make it kind of look like a very rocky west coast kind of shoreline over on this side, since we're gonna have the beach on the inside, so I figured we can just do straight up rock line on the other side. Something that I'm actually looking for a little bit of feedback on is the speed of these time lapses. So I know not everybody watches time lapses, but if you do, what do you think about the speed of this one? Is this going too fast? Is this kind of typical to what you see? Is it like a comfortable speed to watch at? It's something that I haven't been able to find any information on how fast people actually speed up their time lapses. So I really would love some feedback on that, because if this is going by way too fast for you, I know this is a short one to begin with, but if the speed of the camera and stuff is too fast, please let me know. I have no problem with shortening the amount or lessening the amount that I speed these up by. I just don't really know what people are comfortable with, and what speed is comfortable to watch at. So please let me know. But yeah, nothing too exciting on this side here. We we will go a little bit more into decorating the outside of the habitat as well. That's why this time lapse isn't just ending here essentially. But once we get the seals in, this is where I just do the terrain. I find it always better to do the terrain with the animals actually in. Because otherwise you have to adjust things later on anyway. If you have too many plants that they don't like, too much coverage, not enough coverage, or not enough sand, or whatever it might be if you paint beforehand. So I always just drop the animals in, check out what they want, and go from there. And all the water. So I'm sure by now everybody has probably heard about the update coming and the new DLC and all of that. But if you haven't, the new update that's coming, I believe, maybe next week, I think it's near the end of this month, is going to also allow you to change the color and the opacity of your water. So I'm super excited about that. One thing that I kind of thought was always kind of not great about these habitats here is that it looks like you should be able to view so cool from the inside of the building, but you actually can't really view that well because the water is so murky. So I'm super excited when that update comes and I can change how opaque or how transparent the water is. That's the first thing that I'm gonna do by far, and we're gonna take a view through the actual viewing gallery and see what that looks like for our guests, and it's gonna be super cool. But yeah, seal habitat, nothing too exciting. We got a couple of new enrichment items in there, and I'm excited to see how they use that floating dock with the hole in the middle. I don't know if I've actually ever really paid attention to how they use that one, but with the seal habitat done, I drew my attention to this very boring grass area here where all of our paths are. So right off the bat here, I wanted to build a little bridge over top for our staff members. I did end up having to connect the staff path to the main path anyway, just because it doesn't really work that well in this game if they don't have a way to get back to the path, and also from the staff that are in the building, like the vendors, they would have had to walk all the way around to get to the staff room, so that wasn't really going to work out too well. So I ended up connecting it anyway, but I still thought this bridge was kind of cute, just a little feature for the guests to walk under. And you'll see, I like how it turns out in the end. It's very kind of fairy tale, very it's a messy garden. It's not a maintained garden or a manicured garden in any way, but we've got a little bit of elements of intentionality here with the bushes lining the outside, and we'll mess that up a little bit as well by adding in some more plants here soon. But yeah, let me know what you think of this little area. I find areas like this super cute in this game, and I think it's because I love the way that the plants look in this game. Like, it's just, I don't know, I just find them so stunning. So I love areas that are just covered in foliage, and I mean, whether or not it makes sense to be in the middle of the city and like an obviously non-manicured portion of garden, but maybe it's just a little bit of an older area, who knows. Or maybe just less well maintained, or whatever. We'll say that it fits, because I think it turns out looking really cool in the end. You'll see we just kind of add in a little bit of the kind of red and orange trees, as well as the pink flowers, just for little pops of color here and there, and I think that works really well. This walkway in general, I don't know if it's going to stay here forever. So in the original plans, essentially the where these two sections of the zoo connect, we're gonna expand out. So essentially it was going to be a much larger loop, but I think it's going to maybe make sense to have this kind of bridge in between at this point anyway. So I ended up keeping this here and just kind of allowing also the guests to walk straight back from here as well, if that makes any sense. But yeah, overall, I think it's kind of nice to just have a prettier area for the guests to wander through over here. For this bridge, I did keep it fairly simple. I just essentially covered the pathway in wooden planks. Nothing too spectacular, nothing too incredibly detailed. I've been watching some other like builds and stuff lately of incredibly, like, these just wonderfully detailed, impressively detailed zoos and like buildings, even just like buildings with like thousands and thousands of pieces. And like, I know that I probably can't build something with thousands and thousands of pieces and have guests walking around, because like I have a very good computer, and already if I try to play this game at like 144 hertz on my monitor, my CPU screams at me. So I don't know, I think if the piece count goes up, your computer is unhappy with that as well. It might not be the best thing for my computer, but I might try maybe some more detailed builds in the future. I think it always adds so much to it when you just kind of really get in there and detail things up properly. And on a side note, I recently got a slightly better microphone setup, just to kind of isolate some of the background noise a little bit better, because I don't have like the best microphone that exists. It does pick up quite a bit of sound around me, so I got a little bit of a better setup to hopefully isolate me from the background a little bit better. And even those like mouse clicks and keyboard clicks and stuff, I'm sure you will still be able to hear them in my videos, but I'm hoping that they're going to be a little bit quieter, because I know they have been very loud in a lot of the videos, and nobody's complained about it, but it bothers me. So that is something that I've kind of fixed, but just reminded me of it because my cat is currently laying on my desk behind the microphone here and snoring, and I can't bring myself to wake her up or move her, so hopefully we don't hear cat snores in the background. But if you do hear some kind of strange, loud, obnoxious purring, that is what that is. But anyway, as we are just wrapping up this bridge here, obviously adding a little bit of support, and then I thought it would be really cute to just kind of cover it in plants, because the build itself is not particularly pretty. I built it and I was like, oh, this looks very rustic, which doesn't really fit with the theme of the rest of the zoo, but like it kind of fits, I think, really well in this like heavily or unmanicured garden area. So I think adding all that foliage really helped. And here is our final product. So yeah, this is what it looks in the daytime. I added a bunch of lights as well off camera, so I will I'll do a little tour through here in the dark at the end of this video as well, because I think it looks super cool. But yeah, just a cute little, I don't know, I think this kind of adds in, and you kind of got to imagine, we're going to have a lot more maybe built up on the other side of here as well going forward. So just kind of a cute little garden for everybody to walk through, and a little bit better than just the plain path that was there before. But the real feature here that we are looking at is our seals. So we even have a baby seal already, which is super exciting. Look at him. Look at that little guy. He is so cute. Oh wait, okay, wait, let's do it. Let's unpause this and take a look at him wandering around. I guess he's just gonna sleep. Never mind. But they are just absolutely adorable the way that they, oh yeah, there he goes. Just like waddling around on land. He looks like I don't know, these animals are so interesting because they look like they belong more in the water than on land, but like this guy doesn't really go in the water. So I don't know. It's very interesting. They just have a hard time like moving around on the land, but they enjoy being there, I suppose. Oh, that guy just ate all the food. Oh, that's lovely. Okay. Anyway. Yeah, so we've got our 3 seals. I need to get a couple more seals as well. When I checked last time, oops, let's make sure that she does not inbreed if we're not too late. Distractions as soon as you click play. So many distractions. Yeah, what I was going to say, I think we need a couple more seals in this habitat. They are not enough socially. I think they need at least 4. So I'm gonna need to get another male and another female. But the trading center, when I had gotten these guys, was totally empty. Oh, alright. Never mind. I need to look before I speak. There's definitely a lot more now than there were previously. Although it looks like we're a little bit short on female seals. So that's too bad, but maybe I'll snatch up this guy while he's here because I've not seen a gold-rated seal. His size isn't great, but that's okay. And let's look for what do we have for female? Yes, it's a thing. Frontier's the only one who had seals last time as well. So our 2 seals are very, wow, those seals just all got snatched up? Is that what just happened? Hang on a minute. Okay, no. It's like, whew, there's just no second page. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, anyway, when I got these previous seals, Frontier was the only one that had them out, so I think the problem is, I don't know, I mean, I guess most people aren't having this issue with the bug because I think the bug is only with the underwater barriers where the aquatic animals are escaping. These guys also escape. I had to play for a little while and they aren't escaping as often as the otters, but I think that's just because there's fewer of them. They can still swim right through the wall, no problem at all. So we are probably going to have to, I don't know what I'm going to do, to be honest. I was thinking maybe if that update that's coming out at the end of the month is going to fix this bug, then maybe I will just keep all of our aquatic animals in the trade center for now while we're working on the rest of the zoo and then bring them back in. And then when that new update comes out, we can like kind of adjust the water and we can take a look at these guys again. In a little bit more detail, but yeah, I don't know. Other than that, the only other thing that I can think of is essentially draining the water, which is a task to drain the water just because the water goes all the way through here. So all of these animals need to be boxed up. This path needs to be removed and redone every single time I drain the water because it's too close to the water. So if I were to remove the water right now, I wouldn't be able to put it up as high as I did before. I'd have to remove the path, put it up all the way, and then re-add the path. Maybe even this path too, which, I don't know, that's just a lot of work that I would rather not do just for a game bug. Like, they should not be able to swim through a cement wall under the water. So here's to hoping that that gets fixed relatively soon. But yeah, there's 2 other things that I want to kind of wrap up in this video as well. One of them is the animal talks, which I have been talking about for a little while now, and we have not, I have not done anything about. So I want to add one for the peafowl kind of in here. I'm going to shorten their habitat a little bit and expand the path out just for a little space here for people to gather and for the educator to go because that way they don't block the path. And similar on this side, instead of having it right here, right in the middle of the pathway, I want to just kind of bring it out into the habitat a little bit. The other thing is these 2 habitats are getting very overcrowded. So the flamingos like to be in big groups, and I think it looks really cool with a ton of flamingos. So I don't want to thin the herd, but they keep getting very stressed out. So I don't know if, yeah, like I've got a couple notifications here, but I'll get like 24 animals or stressed out notifications from this flamingo habitat. And like generally speaking, they're not really they don't have much issue. Oh yeah, see, he has the hard shelter thing. Okay. Yeah, it seemed like sometimes it was like, oh, you have enough hard shelter, and sometimes it says you don't have enough. But I think ultimately what the problem is there is just not enough stuff in this habitat. So I noticed if you come into here, I think it's in animals. Yeah, you can see, so there's not nearly enough bedding for all of them, there's not nearly enough shelter, and there's not nearly enough feeders. Enrichment is hard because they require a lot of enrichment, and there's only one enrichment item for the food enrichment. So like, obviously as we get more and more flamingos, they require more enrichment, but this is the only item for flamingos for food enrichment. So I don't know, like I already put so many in here. I even started stacking them. Like I think this one has 2 in there just to get those numbers up, and like they don't increase by very much each time. So that's also something that I'm not sure we're actually gonna optimize for them, but I'm thinking maybe we do get rid of some of the plants just to bring it down to ideal, just to help them out a little bit, and add a few more shelters and a few more that are like hidden from guests. So, you know, maybe, I don't know, add in a little shelter around in some of these blank spaces where they can kind of go in and actually hide, like has a wall where the guests can't see them. Maybe some over here as well. Not totally sure. I think they just need more places to run and hide when they're feeling stressed. Like this guy, I'm not sure. That's the thing, right? Like it's hard to tell whether or not like just being under here helps them be unstressed, or if it doesn't, because I guess you can still see them. So I don't know. I'm gonna play around with it a little bit and see if that can get fixed. Our peafowl are less of a problem just because they don't get stressed out so easily. But I think they can use a little bit as well. Yeah, like their food enrichment is not great. Their coverage is way too high. Yeah, they could use quite a few more food enrichment items, and I recently had to get rid of some of them because yeah, see, they're all the way up to 25 again, and they can't handle as many in one habitat. So I will thin the herd a little bit here, release some of them to the wild, essentially, some of our newly matured peafowl, and we will take a look at what these 2 habitats look like after we get those updates in. All right, so we have made a couple of changes to these 2 habitats here. So here I've added a little bit of this little education area. So this one is on June, I believe. I don't know why the throw path is blocked. I'm gonna leave that. But yeah, so this one is June. So oh my goodness. Cannot with these guys. I'm putting them away after this episode. I'm definitely putting them away after this episode. Where is our seal? Did he get put back in here yet? No, okay. Or otter, sorry. Okay, anyway. As I was saying, flamingos, so we have this cute little talk point here and a little bit more area for the guests to come and kind of watch them eat and all of that. And then I added a whole bunch of more shelter and got rid of a bunch of plants. So yeah, I mean, our shelter, for the individual flamingos, it seems to be okay. So yeah, her shelter is fine. I don't know why this went up again. This was green. I'll get rid of a couple more trees to get that to green just so that we're good to go. But yeah, it's not the prettiest thing, and I'm not really sure. I guess it's just important that our flamingos are happy, and it's not too much of an eyesore, but I put some shelter over top of the foraging pools on either side here, as well, so they can have some more privacy, and then I just expanded this out to fill the entire corner here, so they have lots of sheltered area in there as well. And so far, it seems like we're not getting as much stress, so they basically still have to go from food all the way over to this area or into here to really get some privacy, but so far, I haven't seen too many stress notifications, so hopefully that helps a little bit. But similarly on this side, we got the plant count down for the peafowl, which is great, and we added a little talk point here as well. So I put this one on December. Oops, let's not have any inbreeding. Let's put you on contraceptives. Cool. Yeah, so I put the talk point here to go for December, so he has basically half the year to get from one point to the other point, and give the talks, so I think that will be good, because these are the only 2 that educator is going to be talking at anyway, so I figured let's just space them out evenly. That makes the most sense. And yeah, that was pretty much it for the changes. It doesn't look too much different. Obviously, the shelter was expanded quite a bit on this side, but I don't know. I think it still looks okay. Maybe let me know. It's hard balancing like what looks good and what is actually functional for these guys. And I want the animals to be happy, obviously. So, oh yeah, there's a, oops, oh no, it's just notification went away quickly. So maybe we're getting better. As long as those notifications, like if they can find their shelter quick enough to become less stressed, then that's what we're looking for. And last but not least, as promised, here is a little walkthrough of our pretty little garden space here with in the nighttime with the lights, is what I was trying to say. So yeah, you can see just kind of, I wanted to light it up. I wanted to keep the colors kind of along that pink hue. So there's a bunch of pink lights underneath the ground there. Yeah, I think this turned out super cute. I love seeing this game in the dark. I think the lights are just, I don't know, there's something really special about them. There are a couple in here as well, in this dark patch, but there happens to not be electricity here right now, but I'm not going to worry about that until a little bit later. But yeah, I just think this bridge looks so magical. Oh, and you can see the lighthouse in the background there too. Isn't that so cool? Oh gosh, is that one of our our seals? Yeah. Oh, our otter. Do we have an otter? What? I didn't think we had an otter in the habitat. Okay, I need to remember to put them into the big distraction there. I need to remember to put that otter into the trade center as soon as he gets captured. But yeah, a nice little kind of fairy tale walk in here. I feel very cute. I love this view as well. But yeah, I don't think I've actually shown these habitats in the dark either yet, or at least this new section here. So there's our lighthouse. It's got a very bright light up top, as you would expect from a lighthouse. I think it would be really cool to have that like moving light, but we just don't have that yet. And then yeah, all the buildings are lit up inside as well, as you would expect, and the pathways have all of these hanging lights along them as well. So just kind of light it up a little bit nice in here. I'd actually see it a little bit better when it gets a little bit darker, but I put blue lighting just kind of around the outside and along some key points inside of here just to keep it a little bit lit up. But I don't know, I know there's like adaptive lighting as well, so sometimes it looks darker than other times, but that's fine. It's yeah, we've got some lighting along the staff path here as well, but yeah, that is what that looks like in the dark. But yeah, I think that's where we are going to end it off today. We did a lot of stuff in this episode. Hopefully it's not too long, but I guess we'll see what it all kind of cuts down to. But I hope you enjoyed it. As always, leave me any suggestions in the comment section below. Let me know anything that I can do to make these videos more enjoyable for you to watch. And I will talk to you in the next one.